Hey guys, we'll be looking at 25 Minecraft mods for 1.16.5 with under 100,000 downloads. Some of the mods will have more versions and I'll list that in the video. And if you want the information on the mods, they will be in the description. You guys are going to be surprised by the first mod we're looking at. The first mod we're going to be looking at is called Elemental Creepers, and it's a renewed version of the original Creepers. And instead of the original 12 types of creepers, the mod guy added instead 15 types of creatures. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called Extra Vulcanite, and with Extra Vulcanite, it adds this ore right here. And with this ore, you get this ingot right here, and you use this to make all the sets and stuff. But then there's this pickaxe. If you mine 50 blocks, it'll speed up your mining speed. But then if you get 150 blocks, it can set you on fire. And then the sword has fire aspect. And the chest plate, actually, has like a really small chance to set your enemies on fire if they attack you. The next mod we're gonna be looking at is called Amy Soda Mod. With Amy Soda Mod, it adds just a bunch of soda. Like there's the zombie soda, the dirt soda, the spooky soda, Sprite, Nucola Glass, and Mountain Dew. And there's just a bunch. I think there's more than this, but this is just the basic. There's a gas soda, there's 7-Up Cherry, there's a wolf soda, cat soda, all sorts of other things. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called Better Piglin Trading. And with this mod, you can trade them any gold gear, pretty much, except like armor and like enchantment golden apple stuff. Then you can give them a golden apple, just a bunch of tools, and depending on how good the item is that you gave them, depends on the amount of stuff you get, like that and that. See, that second one wasn't as good as the first one, the golden apple. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called Mushroom Fox, and with Mushroom Fox, it adds 5 different types of creatures, like the Warped Fox, the Sand Snake, the Mushroom Fox, and there's the Cookie Chicken, and there's also a Spore. And something else with this mod, it adds Amber, which you can use to make this Amber Staff, and then you could actually shoot fireballs. This mod also adds coal in the desert, and then it adds some Alpha Brass, which with this brass you can use to make like hangers and lanterns. And it also has this statue, and so on. So the next mod we're going to be looking at is called Rafts, and with Rafts you can put just a bunch of rafts on the water. Something else you could do is you could put broken rafts, which I think they collect stuff for you. They also got the fences too, like that, and they got it in all wood types. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called More Golems. With More Golems, it adds 4 different types of golems with this pumpkin right here, which you make with a pumpkin and redstone. But then you put 2 of those and a golem head to make this, and it gives you resistance. Then if you do endstone, oh, I guess it's one higher. But if you do endstone, this guy gives other like creatures levitation besides you. And this guy, whoops, this guy you can just play like a note block. There's the blackstone one, which just dances. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called Gem Infuser, and with this mod, you get 9 different ores. And with these 7 ores, you combine them with the sword to get different effects. And with this one, you combine it with a necklace to get levitation if you right click it. Then with this one you use it to make the armor set that way, but the way you use it is so you get unrefined jewels from the ores over there. Then you put it in the polisher, you get a polished one, and then you combine a regular sword like this with one of the bindings that I have, and like an iron binding, and then I combine the iron binding with whatever gem I have, like that. And like this sword, it gives me jump boost and speed. The next one we're going to be looking at is called Creeper Pets, and the Creeper Pets, it spawns 4 different types of creepers around your world, I think. And you tame them with gunpowder, and then you can have them follow you around and just a bunch of stuff like that. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called Fantasia RPG Slimes, and with this mod it adds 14 different types of slimes that spawn throughout your world, and they also have different abilities. And a bunch of stuff like that. Some of them do different stuff, and some of them are stronger than others. So the next mod we're going to be looking at is called Poison Sword, and with this mod, you put a potion, a bad potion effect, a good potion effect, whatever you want, in your offhand. Then you go to whatever sword you want to use, and you click M, and it puts the potion on your sword. It gives you 16 uses. So then if I use that, it gives them poison. Then if I use the potion of harming on this one, it does more damage. Like that, and compares to the regular sword, which does 4, and so on. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called Salvage Furnaces. When Salvage Furnaces, it adds 5 different types of furnaces. And with these upgrades, it adds the chest above these. But the upgrade recipes are like so. So you use these chests right here, and you have to put whatever level of furnace these are. Use that level of armor and tools. And when it's done smelting, it gives you the scraps, which you can use in a furnace. I'll put these diamond ones because, like, with depending on whatever type of piece you use, the more of this you get. But then I'll put it in the furnace. When the furnace is done smelting, it'll give you diamonds, like so. This mod is basically for if you have extra pieces of tools and armor laying around and you don't know what to do with it, then you can just use it in the furnaces and get your materials back. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Simple Ice Cream. With Simple Ice Cream, it adds a bunch of stuff like this, and I'm going to show you how to make the ice cream. So there's popsicle sticks like so, but you use this thing with the ice cream mix, which you make with snowballs and some milk. Then you put it in there, and you put the sticks of whatever kind you want in there. And then I'll just put sand right there, and I'll click mix, get some sand ice cream. Not a carved pumpkin, a regular pumpkin. I click mix, and I get the ice cream popsicle for that. But then I also do the same thing with cornets. I can put an enchanted golden apple right there, get some golden ice cream. Sweet berries, get some sweet berry ice cream, and then some mint to get some mint ice cream. The next mod we're looking at is called Rune Sword, and with Rune Sword, it adds this table right here that you make like so. And with this table, you put a sword right there, and you can have whatever ones you want here. But like the top one right here is the major, which you have to have a netherite sword for that. And with the major one, it sends stuff flying in the air, and then with the minor, it gives you speed. Then with the water ruins, it gives you water breathing each time you kill something. There's also the fire rune like so. When you're on fire, you do more damage, and you could set them on fire. With the earth rune, you have a chance for something to drop dirt when you kill it, and also you do more damage underground when you're in a cave. And I'll let you guys figure out the rest. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called the Restoration Stone. And with this mod, you get this stone right here, and you get it from trading with a wandering trader. And with this mod, if you have any pickaxe or any tool with durability loss, you put it in the anvil like that, and however much you've already used it depends on the cost enchantment. So like if this most of the way used, then this will cost a lot more levels. And then it also resets enchantment. So like if you have cool enchantments on there, it resets the cost for the next enchantment you use. The next one we're going to be looking at is called Skylight Lantern. With Skylight Lantern, it adds really, really strong lanterns that light up a ton of the area. But if the zombie goes below it, it can set it on fire if it's like right below it. So like that, how it was set on fire. Something else, if it's nighttime, it won't set anything on fire. The next one we're going to be looking at is called Putting It Down. With this mod, you can put certain things down if you press K. Like with gold, it actually stacks like regular gold, but if you do diamond, it puts it in a box. It also does the same thing with nether bricks. If you put it it just turns it in the box. You can do it with netherite, put it like this so. But then if you right click it, you can take it off. Next mod we're going to be looking at is called the Yggdrasil, and with this mod, it adds a couple biomes like this one. There's also this one. There's even this one as well. Then there's this one, and there's also plenty more biomes. And then there's a bunch of mist, some tools, just a bunch of plants, some other stuff, some relics, some foods, and so on. Next mod we're going to be looking at is called XP Shop, and with XP Shop, you see that little number above my XP bar? So if I use Bottle of Enchanting, it goes up quite a lot. And these are the wallet sizes. So that's my currency right there, the number right there. Someone else's mod adds is a bunch of upgrades that you can use. And with it, you might have to get in creative and stuff. I don't actually know how to acquire them. But with it, it makes it so you can use your trade thing right here, which you make like that. But you can use it to get like items and stuff like that you can unlock with the XP levels like right here. And some things are harder to get than others, and then some stuff you need like that material to actually unlock it. The next one we're going to be looking at is called Vault Storage, and with Vault Storage, it adds just a bunch of different chests like that one, there's that one, with just a giant storage. There's even a cake crate, and some just crates and stuff like that. Next mod we're going to be looking at is called Space Station. With Space Station, it spawns its ore in the overworld, which you use to get silicon, and with silicon, you smelt it, and you use it to either make a block or basic welfare, but then you use the block and you can make the advanced one. So far, you make these two things, and then with the basic thing, you actually click it, then you press tab, and then it loads you up here. But then you like right click on that and you get this space station. 10 things of these on this thing, or you can use one advanced one. Open this room up with some storage and some stuff like that. Then there's this other area right here, which is just the sleeping quarters right here. And then there's also one other area like this. So this area, and you use it to get certain things, which I'm not actually too sure what it's used for. But I think it's used to get the fire asteroid and the ice asteroid to make these two types of sets. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called Squidbirds, and with Squidbirds, there's these two mobs that you get that spawn in the jungle, and there's a Squidbird like that. There's a giant one like those, but usually if they have fish in a pond like this, they hunt the fish. But then the small one gets the ink sac, which you use to make one, and then this one gets the big one, which you use to make four. We're going to be looking at the mod Spook next, and with this mod, it spawns these throughout the nether, and they can go through blocks or each other and stuff like that. But if I go in survival, they definitely attack me, and they go through blocks to attack me, and they also can throw stuff at me, like that. We're going to be looking at fast entity transfer next, and with how you use it, you can use whatever type of furnace or stuff you want. If you click Control and right click or left click, you can just put it in there. And then if I look it up, you got a stack right there, half right there. Again, a stack. Puts 32 in at a time. And yeah, the next one we're gonna be looking at is called Paintable Paints. And with this mod, you have to make a Canva piece type of wood, whatever you. But then you put a piece of wood with paper to get Canva planks. So with it, you put F3, and then it puts it on the paintbrush whenever it's in your offhand. So if I do that, and then I could do it even with this one. And each one of these recipes are just dye with a bucket of water. And this paint scrapper just takes off the paint. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed. And some of the mods might have a couple bugs in them, and I didn't look all the way through them. But if you enjoyed and want to see more, I hope you hit that sub.